everybody, it's Dottie the Brightest Star, and today we are going to talk about protection magic. Don't forget to do all the things, like, share, subscribe, all the things. But let's get into it. And yes, there's makeup on my hands. I just wanted to get into it. I didn't feel like getting up and washing my hands, so bear with me, okay? Okay. So, and it's makeup. Like, I'm chocolate, it's chocolate, we're good. Okay? Okay, anyways, so let's talk about protection. Protection is something that honestly should be one of the first things you learn if you're going to be dipping your toes into the esoteric world, but it seems like a lot of people just forget the protection. I don't need it. I'm divinely protected. Girl, you gonna divinely fall on your booty hole. You gonna be upset when something comes and smacks you upside the forehead and you weren't expecting it. So with everything I'm gonna say, I have quite a few things, so you might want to get some notes so you can go over this, so you can come back to it. Come back. But with everything that it is that I am about to tell you, I want you first and foremost to do your own research, okay? No matter what it is that somebody else says, no matter how much you trust another person, do your own research. Do what feels right for you and what resonates for you, because not everything on this list are things that I even do. Not everything on this list is going to be something that resonates with your soul. Only do what resonates with you. Don't do something just because somebody else says it, and just because somebody else gives you information. Go and do your own damn research, okay? Please and thank you, because here's the deal. I do my own research, so I do not at any time expect everybody to take what it is that I say for gospel, okay? At no point, just like I don't take other people's stuff for gospel either. If it resonates with my soul, I'm gonna be like, you might have something to this. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, I want to talk about eating your magic. I think that eating your magic is like one of the coolest yet overlooked parts of magic. This was something a friend of mine taught me. She was like, girl, start eating your magic. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, start eating this for this and that for that. And this can really be applied for any type of workings that you're gonna do. Like for instance, my friend, she was about to do a return to sender. So like a week beforehand, she started eating her magic. Eating the types of things that she wants. So eating things like garlic, chili powder, black pepper, parsley, cloves, things of this nature, rosemary, salt, and speaking to your food, like telling your food, like, yeah, Rosemary, I want you to not only I want you to protect me mentally. I want you to protect me, in this way. And let your food know what it is that you want it to do. Don't just be eating out here willy-nilly. That's how we end up getting messed up, okay? That's how we end up getting messed up. So let's not do that. Let's actually eat with intention and do everything with intention. That is going to be a huge part of everything that I'm talking about. So you're going to want to take and pray over your herbs. This is actually one of the things we're going to talk about here in a minute. But another way that you can bring protection to you and your family is by shielding. So when it comes to shielding, there are a couple of different ways that people do it. And I'm going to go over a couple of those, but I think that one of the most important things about shielding, especially if you are shielding another person, make sure you are grounded. There is a reason why I talk about being grounded and all the things. So when I first started out, there was someone that I was very near to, care a lot about, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put this person in a bubble. Because they need the assistance. I see the issue that they're going through. Granted, should I ask permission? My little blackness did not, but we're not going to talk about that. But when it comes to like your children and stuff, you can put them as well as yourself into a bubble. So first you're going to want to make sure that you're grounded, you're rooted, you're however it is that you ground. Some people are going to picture, roots coming out of them. Some people are going to go outside, play in the garden, things of this nature to get them grounded. I always like to just I do things completely backwards and abnormal for a lot of people. I start from the top and work my way down. I will literally shoot the energy from up here all the way down and then root, ground, and work my way back up. So I've heard people say, why are you doing it that way? But, it works for me. And what works for me is not always going to work for you. So, but one of the ways I start out by shielding, especially when I'm shielding just myself, is I actually create, an energy ball. So, I don't know if you've ever done this and, sit there and, while you're watching this, just go like this. Start playing with it. Start feeling it. You feel it? You feel what I'm talking about? So this is something that I've been doing for years, right? Me and my friend used to take and do this, and then we would literally play ball. Just throw little energy balls. And then I was like, oh snap, we've been throwing our aura at each other. We were 16 at that time. We just thought it was cool and we were on stuff. I partied hard. Anyways, this being said, once you kind of make this energy ball, I like to absorb it, bring it back in, and then push it out. And when you push it out, you don't necessarily have to do the aura step, right? Not everybody's going to do the, energy ball pew part. You don't have to. But the important part is to just kind of create a little galactic bubble around you. Whatever it is that that looks like for you. Is it a firmament? If you play video games, if you've ever seen the Staff of Ra, that's what I like my aura to look like. My little shield to look like a lot of the times. Come in here. Come in here. Let this energy zap you up. Boom, 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 boom. If you haven't realized, Dottie's stupid. It's okay. So, but you can make it into a skin tight suit. You can do whatever it is, however it is that moves you when you go to make it, do it. This magic lives in the creation of your imagination, if that makes any sense. Your imagination and what you can do up here is a key part to being able to do anything out there. Okay? So, that being said, next thing you can do is what some will call candle work. So when it comes to candle work, you can take and write out a petition. I want my house to be protected, my family to be protected, blah, blah, blah. If you're using a 7-day candle, I don't have any in here, but if you're using a 7-day candle, you can make little holes in it, put your herbs and stuff in there. You can put your herbs around it. Do what feels right to you. You're going to want to pray over it. Set your intent. Use your energy. This is really about using your energy, and you're going to want to use types of herbs. Some of the herbs that I mentioned earlier. Whatever herbs feel right to you. Don't use an herb. First off, don't be out here using herbs or anything without doing research. Find out, because first off, a lot of different herbs have different properties, okay? A lot of different herbs have different things to them. And a lot of different practices use things differently than others. So don't use something just because somebody tells you to, because you may be practicing, you may be more into the Wiccan side of things, right? I'm just into my own little thing. If it feels right, I'm gonna do it. I don't necessarily fall under anybody's umbrella, okay? A little more on the hoodoo side of things, but I do my own thing. I'm not trying to be tied down to anybody, which is why I left religion. I'm gonna just be honest. So, that being said, candle work. When you go to do candle work, when you go to do any types of works or working with herbs, make sure you're looking up the herbs. What does it do? What planet does it correspond with? All the things. I need you to do your own research, okay, baby? Because you can't depend on anybody else to do the learning for you. Because I may be wrong with half the stuff I'm saying. I really don't think so, or else I wouldn't be putting this information out here. You know what I mean? But like, I could be wrong. Anybody could be wrong with the things that they're saying. Okay? Just need you to know that. When you go to light your candle, because I do not read candle wax, I'm going to be completely honest. But when you go to light your candle, pay attention to what the candle looks like. You're going to want to use colors like white. White is a universal color, so you can use white for pretty much anything. Black is a color for protection. I've heard people say that you can use brown candles, you can use red candles. It really depends on, number one, like, when it comes down to it, are you trying to like protect a love member? Well, using something like a black and red candle could work because, you know, but red is also like a war color, right? So just be mindful of these things and how it is that you want to do things and what does it look like for you. Okay. So next we're going to talk about prayer. A lot of times I feel like, and maybe this is just me and my spiritual journey, but when I walked away from the church, I felt like, well, who do I pray to? I don't necessarily believe in the God of the Bible. And then when it comes to the God of the Bible, we're not going to get too into it, but when it comes to it, I just don't believe. However, I feel like prayer is a huge thing, whether it's to your angels, your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, whoever it is that you feel connected to. If you want to pray to God, if you want to pray to Allah, if you want to pray to Shiva, I don't give a snippy, okay? What's important is that you do it. And all of these things are things that can be layered together. Like, while you're shielding, you can also pray. While you're cooking, you can also pray. While you're doing your candle work, you can also pray. Prayer is one of the most important steps to this entire thing. Stay rooted, stay grounded, stay connected. Prayer actually will help you to keep your crown chakra open so you can give and receive. Okay. And because I do have more of like a Christian background, I know that the Bible says that we have angels at our disposal. So what are your angels doing? What you got them doing? Okay? Like I said, this can be paired with anything. You know, asking your angels to encamp protection around you, your family, your car, whatever it is. So the next thing I want to talk about is a bath. Now, baths are always seem to be an issue of debate for a bunch of people. There are some people who are going to tell you that when you take this type of bath, you shouldn't sit in it. There are some people who are going to tell you that you need to use the water in a certain type of way. Do whatever feels right for you, okay? There are other people who are also going to tell you to take this type of bath in the dark. If you feel like you need to take it in the dark, take it in the dark. If you feel like you need to have all the lights on in order to do it, do it. Do what's right for you, what's right for your soul, your spirit. So when it comes to like baths, what it is that I like to do when it comes to my baths, I like to make a salt. Like, I keep salt in bulk. So when it comes to salt, like, one thing I like to do, once again, prayer. So I take and I gather all my herbs, all my things, and I put my salt together. I like to keep like little containers. Like, I have so many jars and containers in my house, it's ridiculous. But take and mix it all together. While you're mixing it, tell your herbs, tell your salt, this is what it is that I want you to do for me. When you go to pour it in your bathtub, if that's how you're gonna do it, you tell it, this is what it is that I want you to do for me. Remember, when it comes to stirring things, when it comes to doing workings, that when you go clockwise, you're bringing something in. When you're going counterclockwise, you're taking something away. I set my intent while I'm making my salt mixture. I set my intent when I go to put it in the bathtub. I am constantly talking to what it is that I'm doing during the process. Another thing, like I said before, make sure to stay rooted, stay grounded, stay within yourself, Because a lot of these things that I'm talking about, if you are not rooted, if you are not grounded, they can throw you off. And I only say this because of experience, because I've done these things, I've thrown myself off, and when you're thrown off, it can literally cause you to pass out. Like, not just like, whoo, but like, oh my goodness, I'm super tired, let me sleep. After doing once, when I first started out, I did one working and I slept for 5 days. All I did was eat and sleep, and I lost 10 pounds. Okay? You can use sigils. So you can go and you can find sigils that go along with your belief system, that go along with your family's traditions, whatever it is, you can find them. You can also make your own. Okay? And I'll insert it right here. Here's a graph, and you can look it up. Numerology and letters. What letters correlate to numerology, and with that, using that to then create your own sigils, enchanting them with your own magic, your own intent, and there's nothing wrong with that. I personally am a huge fan of using your own magic, not just using what somebody else says, using what somebody else says as a basis for, and using and doing your own thing. So with this being said, you can put these sigils anywhere. You can put them in your car, you can put them on your door, you can put them all over the place, in the windows, on the mirrors. Mirrors are portals. So with all of these things, for the most part, you can use and should protect your mirrors, your TVs, because those are also portals. These are ways that if you're not careful, you can bring things in. So just like when I cleanse my home with smoke, I will go through all the TVs, all the mirrors, all the things, and I will put different sigils on them with smoke. Okay? That's just how I roll. Use things like salts and herbs and things of this nature to cleanse with. So you can make yourself up a salt herb mixture, right? And then you can take and spread it out your door, right? And then take a broom. Make sure if you're doing work like this, you have an outside broom that is specifically for outside. You have an inside broom, and don't be using vice versa. Don't be doing that, okay? So anyways, you're going to want to sweep away from your home. Sweeping all the negative energy away from your home. You can also take and put different herbs around your house. And this is going to help you to protect your home, to protect your environment. While you're mixing your herbs, this is where your prayer comes in. This is where putting your energy into it is going to come in. You know, if you're a Christian or you come from a Christian background, saying things like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Saying things like, whatever it is that, brings you peace. Throughout the Bible, you can use that in there, especially if you're Black. Either way, like, if Christianity runs through your blood, this is something that your ancestors you're going to be calling in your ancestors by then using this type of energy, because your ancestors are going to be connected to those particular verses. Does that make sense? Hope this is making sense for you. And just because I say a verse or somebody else says a verse doesn't mean that that's the verse that you should be using or how it is that you should be using it, okay? You can take and put these blends around your property, around your home, put them in your car, put them in your purse, making, whatever little bags that you want to make, however it is that you feel led to use it. But if I should say this, when it comes to your baths, don't put anything like chili powder in your bath. You put chili powder in your bath, red pepper flakes in your bath, and then you come and you tell me that you burnt your booty hole, I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid, okay? Because I'm gonna be like, but you could have used cinnamon. Okay? So don't come over here with, Daddy, I did what you said, and now my booty hole burns. I told you to do some research, did I not? Okay, so next we have crystals. So this isn't necessarily, I'm just using this particular crystal as an example. So first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cleanse your crystal. If it's one that you can put in water, salt water, you can use a rub on it, you can use smoke on it, whatever it is, you can use some sound on it, I don't care. Cleanse the crystal. Now what I want you to do is I want you to know what it is that the crystal does, okay? We'll use the amethyst because amethyst is for protection, okay? Protection, enlightenment, intuition, all the things. That's part of the reason why I'm constantly wearing one. Be careful because amethyst can get you very much here, and then you have a hard time coming back down. I have a hard time coming back down. And I'm always rocking the amethyst, okay? And I always have. Take it, cleanse it, be like, you know what, amethyst, I want you, or, tourmaline, whatever. I want you to protect me and to blah, 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 blah. Okay. Pray over it. Thank your gods, your ancestors, my Mother Gaia, all the things. Put it where you want it. Make sure to keep these things cleansed. Make sure to take care of these things. You're going to want to cleanse these things. Some of these things are going to want to be done daily. Some of these things are going to want to be done weekly. Some of these things once a month is good as well. But make sure that, like I said, program your crystals. Put them wherever it is that you want or wherever it is that you feel that you need it. Tell your crystal what it is that you want it. Like, I keep crystals strategically around my house for certain reasons, and a lot of them I will leave in places where they will either get moonlight and sunlight, so that they're constantly kind of cleansing themselves and charging themselves along the way, so I don't have to always worry about it. Does that make sense? Alright, so another thing I like to do is washes. And I kind of talked about this before. You can take your herbs and stuff, make like a saltwater rinse, right? And what I do is I'll wash my windows down with it. I'll wash my clothes down with certain things. Like, I will take and put like Florida water and essential oils in with my laundry detergent. I'll put it in with make sure it's nothing you're allergic to. Don't do something and you're allergic to it. Don't be stupid, please. But I will take and put certain things in with my laundry detergent, put certain things in with my dryer sheets. That way I don't have to worry about it. I know that I'm divinely protected every time I do laundry. Every time I wear some laundry that I've done, whatever, I'm good. Okay? Like I said, you can also use this to wash your windows, wash your mirrors, wash your floors, using things like Florida water, if that's something you're into, using different types of essential oils, using different types of herbs. With this also, what I like to do is I like to make my own carpet fresh. And I will take some baking soda or even some Carpet Fresh from the store, and I'll add my own essential oils to it after I cleansed it instead. And I will add my own little herbs to it. And when I go to vacuum, I vacuum with the intent that any negative energy, any dark energies are being vacuumed up, and that I'm divinely protected. That is leaving a barrier of protection around me and my home. Okay? See where I'm going? Be creative. Do your own thing, baby. You can even put certain things, be careful putting stuff in your dishwashing liquid, okay? But you can even put certain things in your dishwashing liquid. That way my food is protected. That way you know what I mean? Like, if you start to put all this stuff into your everyday, then you're already gonna know I am divinely protected no matter what, because I have this in place, I have that in place, I've done this, and I'm divinely protected, and I know my magic works. Okay? So another thing is black salt. So black salt is a mixture, and I'm gonna leave a link down below to my friend Spirit TV. She makes her own black salt. She makes a protection kit. So go check her out. Her stuff works, or else I would not be promoting her, because that's just how I roll. I don't promote unless I know, and her stuff works. Okay, so go and check her out. She has black salt, but if you're one of those people who wants to make your own, black salt contains things like black pepper, charcoal. It contains things like different burnt herbs, different ashes from things. You mix it all together and you can use it for protection, putting it in your windows, putting it in your car, leaving it around your property, all of these things. Putting it in the corners of your room so that it's able to absorb. Mind you, some of these things, especially with like the black salt and stuff, you're going to want to replace this at least once a month, because it is going to absorb different things. You may find that things start to act up, and if you feel like you need to do something beforehand, do it. Another thing that I kind of want to touch on is plants. So having things like basil, lavender, snake plants, aloe, these are all different plants that you can leave around your house that once again can bring in protection. Talk to your plants, talk to your things, tell them what it is, put your energy, put your intent on it. Like, hey, you know, like I had a basil plant, and I would keep basil and lavender in my front room, and the reason being is that, I'm gonna be honest, me and the person I was dating, we had a lot of conflict, and we spent a lot of time in my front room. So I would leave the two of them in the front room, one to calm things down and one to kind of dissipate things. And basil does. Basil helps to dissipate things. So that's what I would do. And it would help. Personally, it helped. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because throat punch. And I'm way calmer than what I used to be. I'm way calmer. But these plants will also help you to negate different types of energies. Also, you're going to want to pay attention to these plants, because anytime somebody was sending negative energy my way or trying to send something to me, I would notice that like my basil would get hit, my mint would get hit, and all of a sudden my plants would go from thriving to dead. I made a video one time with my rosemary, and my rosemary was thriving. It was dead a week later. I was talking about the Christians though. Some of them aren't the happiest. Layering things, okay? Things like your crystals, your prayers, eating your magic. These are things that can be done on a daily basis. Doing different types of washes, you know, washing your clothes with different herbs and stuff can help. And I'm not saying like, oh, let me throw a whole bunch of lavender in the washing machine. Probably not the best idea. Put a few drops of lavender in your laundry detergent might not be a bad idea. You understand what I'm saying? Like, use common sense here. These are different types of things that you can use. Please use common sense for all of these things. Please use common sense for all of these things. Okay? Thank you. So stay divinely protected out there. Definitely let me know if there's any of these things that it is that you've personally started. Are there any of these things that you are going to start? Is there anything else you want to add to the list? There will probably be another one of these later on, but definitely let me know. Let's start a discussion. Alrighty guys, I love you. Have a great day. Bye. You would think that I'm over here like with the highest blood pressure ever, even though I don't cook with it. I really don't. Like, my Kool-Aid ain't ever sweet. My food's never salty enough. Sometimes my chicken ain't got flavor. Like, I'm not the best black person to be trying to take blackness from, because if you're ever trying to imitate blackness from me, you might want to imitate blackness from this wall. It's probably gonna get you better. Anyways, don't come back and say, ooh, Dottie told me to do X, Y, and Z, and you were just being stupid, and be like, oh, it didn't work. Because were you being stupid? Don't come back to me on no stupidity. Because I'm going to call it like I see it. Lord has not calmed my tongue yet, y'all. I have a lot of fire, and I be tearing in people's little booty holes. I ain't got no problem with it. Why I'm not allowed in certain spaces no more. Because certain people already know that if you rub me the wrong way, I'm going to show you. I ain't got no problem with it. Not a single one. Not a single fucks will be given. Today's Mercury Day, ain't it? Today probably is Mercury Day. Today is Wednesday. I should have known not to be anywhere near the peoples. Because Mercury days and my little Leo Mercury, we be bad combination when it comes to the peoples. It's probably why I did my ratings on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays. Yep, yes. Alright, guys. Like I said,